Okay, Big Orange 1 is the second topic, and that's going to be factoring quadratics that are missing the constant. You'll notice that all the problems we do in this section are not going to have a constant. In this case, x squared minus 6x. So switching back to normal here, I'm going to give you the equation, and you're going to tell me the solutions. Like in 5.2 when we graphed the parabola and looked at it. Okay, and in all of the problems in Big Orange 1, there is no constant. What we're going to do in Big Orange 1 is we are going to take out what we can and then set each of the factors equal to 0. So the first step is looking at the terms and seeing what we can take out of the two terms. The two terms being x squared and negative 6x. You see what they have in common and what they can take out, which is a skill that you should have somewhere in that brain. Okay, what do they have in common? An x. They can both afford to give up an x for the good of the cause. So we can divide, basically undistribute. Those of you that like the distributive property maybe like that explanation better. Undistribute an x out of the parentheses. And if we undistribute an x, we are left with 1x minus 6. And then you could check it by mentally redistributing it and making sure that it's the same. Okay? And now what we have is two factors that equal 0. X times x minus 6. And in the wing ding at the top, I have house times upside down smiley face equals 0. And I kind of hinted at this last section. If house times upside down smiley face equals 0, what do we know in general? One of those two has to be 0. Either the house or the upside down smiley face, one of those two has to be 0. So what we're going to do, getting back to our example, down here we have, instead of house and upside down smiley face, we have x and x minus 6. So we set each of those equal to 0. We set x equal to 0, and we set x minus 6 equal to 0, and we get the x by itself for each one. The x equals 0 is already done. On the x minus 6, we simply add the 6 to the other side, and we get 0 and 6. Looking at a second example, 3x squared plus 9x equals 0. We look to take out what we can. I always take out as much as I can. And looking at this, I see that I can definitely take out an x, and I can also take out a 3. When I undistribute my 3 and my x, I'm left with x plus 3. And that takes practice. Those of you that are iffy with that skill, I can give you all kinds of extra practice with that. You just got to let me know. I've got all kinds of old Algebra 1 worksheets where you have to look and see what to take out and all that stuff. Okay. So now I have two things that are multiplying to 0, and we're simply going to set each one equal to 0. 3x equals 0, divide by 3, x equals 0. And x plus 3 equal to 0. X equals negative 3. Whoops, you're not seeing that, are you? There we go. A little tip, when you're missing the constant, one of your answers is always going to be 0.